Welcome to Gardening with James. You will learn how to start your own garden, learn watering techniques, how and what to compost, eat better, which leads to a healthier lifestyle. This show is packed full of frugal tips and information, as well as interviews from around the country designed to make gardening easier and fun for the entire family. Call James now with your questions and problems at 734-4321. A gardener himself who has planted gardens from San Francisco to Kentucky. Let's go in the garden with your host, James Ross.
All right, here we go on another great Saturday morning. It is cold out there, so if you plan on going outside, go out there and warm the car up a little bit. Let it get a little bit of heat in there, because it's cold out there. I was standing out there a few minutes ago, and my fingertip is cold. So be sure to put some gloves on. If you're taking the kiddies out, be sure to put plenty of clothes on them to take them where you have to go, and hopefully you'll have a great day out there, because take advantage of what we have right now, because it looks like we're going to have some sunshine, but later in the day. But first we're going to have some rain. We got rain coming in. We had the snow the other day, and it was first time in a while I've seen snow on the ground all over top of the cars and vehicles, and we had some great big snowflakes. So that was pretty exciting. I was just hoping we didn't get the 8 inches that some other places were getting. Let's see here. Speaking of the snow, the other day when I went to work, I knew that it was going to snow, and I knew we was going to have at least an inch or so of snow. So I took out the grass seed, and I just went all over the park, just throwing grass seed everywhere, because I knew that was a good time to put the grass seed down. And we did. We ended up getting at least an inch and a half, and so I'm pretty happy with that. And if it snows, say in the next week or two, I'll probably do the same thing, because we do have some bare spots that we need to fix. So I'll be putting down some more grass seed. So anytime that you know it's going to have a decent snow, get that grass seed going. So this way to get in the ground, and come springtime, you'll see it to start to pop up. And because there's nothing worse than a bare spot in your yard, because there's nothing there. And for me, if there was a bare spot in the yard somewhere, I would probably put a flower bed in it, just because I don't want to see just the dirt, because there should be grass, should be something in that spot that you should be able to put in there to make that spot or that area look a whole lot better. So if you've got bare spots, think about, could I put a tree there? Could I put a shrub there? Could I put a decent flower bed in that spot? So ask yourself a few questions to try to figure out what you can do with, so that spot will look a whole lot better the next year. Because I know we're going into a new season. I just told you that it's cold outside and the weather's bad, and I know here I am talking about gardening, but now's a great time to start to plan that garden, because if you start planting it now, say in January, and you're not going to say, if you're one of those people who wait until mid-March or something like that to get your garden started, you have a perfect opportunity to go out there and figure out what it is, where you want to put shrubs, where you want to put your vegetable garden, where you want to put your compost. And if you start planning that stuff out now, you'll be well ahead of the game, because the most important thing is time, and you have to fix it to where time can kind of meet you where you're at. Because if you're a busy person and don't have a whole lot of time, it's more important for you to make sure that you have a plan that is set out early, and you can start working that plan. And by the time you get to where you're going to start buying your plants, your shrubs, your things, like whatever it is that you plan to buy, a lot of that stuff will already be done, and all you have to do is check on your plants, like water them, and making sure that they have, whatever they need in order to have a successful harvest. So making a plan is definitely something that will help you out. I was reading this article by Tree Hugger, and has a really good article on obtaining the highest yields for annual growing areas. And they have, they talk about setting your plan into play now. If you plan on doing planter boxes, if you're doing containers, pots, buckets, wheelbarrows, or whatever it is, they talk about if you make sure that you plan that early. It's just like this morning. If you look out your window and the sun is coming up, in the front of your house or the back of your house, set your watch to that, because you know that the sun came up on the back of your house at 7 a.m. or 6:30 a.m. and it stays on that side until about lunchtime, which means that you'll probably get 5 to 7 hours worth of sun. You know that, okay, that may be a good place to put a garden. Now, you don't want to put it on the back side of that unless you are putting, because at the end of the day, where you're getting, say, 4 or 5 hours, well, I guess it would work out. But if you're getting 5 to 6 hours in the afternoon on the other side of your house, that'd be a great place to put fruit trees and different things like that. So there's lots of different ideas. If you want to go with the no dig, that just means that you're not going to dig in the ground. You're going to use use a potting mixer in order to grow your plants. Or if you're going to put that greenhouse up or whatever it is that you plan to do, that would be those are the kind of things that you want to set your watch by. I get 5 hours on this side of the house, or 6 hours. I get 3 hours on the other side of the house, or 2 hours, whatever it may be. That may be a place where you put shade plants, plants like your cabbages and things like that. Put that on that side of the house because they won't need as much sun. So if you start putting a stopwatch on what it is that you're trying to do, then it'll make life a whole lot easier. Tell you what, let me get my break out the way, and I'll be right back.
Hey, everybody, let me ask you a couple questions. Do you like to eat?
Yes!
Do you like to eat great food?
Yes!
Do you like to cook?
No!
Do you like to save money?
Yes! Yes!
Then it's obvious. You would like big deals from the Hometown Radio Network Big Deals Online Store. Buy Hometown Radio Big Deal gift certificates from local restaurants and you save big bucks. Great local eating places like the Bread of Life Cafe, Whole Latte Love, Danville's Applebee's, Lancaster Subway, the old bus station in Harrodsburg, Sweets by Cindy, Salted Honey Cafe in Parable, the 19th Hole Restaurant, Starbucks and Steak and Shake at the Harrodsburg Campbellsville University campus. And there's more with big discounts. Just go to the Hometown Radio Network's Big Deals website, save big bucks on great local eateries and other businesses. Check them all out at hometownlive.net. Big Deals Online Store. Go to hometownlive.net, open 24/7. Big Deals Online Store. Let's eat.
The most trusted place to take your vehicle for a full-service oil change and more in Danville since 1986, Valvoline Instant Oil Change. They feature maintenance services to help you avoid costly and inconvenient breakdowns. Besides full-service oil changes, Valvoline can service your heating and AC, brakes, transmission and drivetrain, steering and suspension, and rotate your tires. Open Monday through Friday 8 to 7, Saturday 8 to 5, and Sunday noon to 5. Valvoline Instant Oil Change, Danville, South 4th Street. Quick, easy, and trusted since 1986.
Hungry for a Titan burger? How about a Bulldog burger? Or maybe you're really hungry. Get the Big Daddy Burger Basket at the old bus station restaurant. Open for in-person dining and patio dining following the current safety guidelines. You can still call in an order for curbside pickup at 734-4202. 734-4202. The old bus station restaurant on South Greenville Street in Harrodsburg. Home cooking done right. Open Monday through Thursday 7 to 2, Friday 7 to 8, and Saturday 7 to 2.
This is Goldie Goldsmith McNary, inviting you to join me each week for What's Happening Goldie, a talk show that features interesting people about interesting things. We'll learn how to stay healthy and keep fit, and we'll explore the world of entertainment. So join me for What's Happening Goldie.
What's Happening Goldie every Wednesday at 10:05 a.m. and Saturday at 8:30 a.m. on WHBN 1420 a.m. and 99.5 FM.
Tax season 2021 is here. There's lots of changes and deductions this filing year as well. Come see Betty at Betty's Tax Service, 535 South College Street in Harrodsburg. Always reasonable rates. Over 35 years experience. Call 734-3433. Betty's Tax Service on South College.
This WHBN weather forecast is brought to you by Ransdell Funeral Chapel. Our goal is and always will be to provide the best value in funeral service available. Exceptional care from a trusted family name, Ransdell Funeral Chapel.
Partly sunny today, rain likely this afternoon, a high of 45. Rain likely tonight, wind gust up to 22 miles an hour, a low around 36. Tomorrow, 50-50 chance of rain, a high of 50, mostly cloudy. Sunday night, chance of rain before midnight, then a chance of rain and snow.
If you have a question for James, call him at 734-4321 or email James at spreadingcompost@gmail.com. Now, let's go back in the garden with James.
All right, we're back in this cold garden. If you look outside, you still see remnants of snow, and the temperature's in the 20s. It's, like I say, it's pretty doggone cold. So if you're going to go out there today, make sure that you are you're dressed properly. Make sure that your car is nice and warm before you get out there, because I still see people, they'll defrost their car just enough they got to stick their head as close to the windshield as possible just to drive. That is not the safe way to do it, because you have to know what's coming. So be sure that you warm your car up perfectly. Make sure that you're taking care of just some of the small things that you need to. Make sure you got plenty of gas. Make sure you've got things in your car. Your spare tire is good. You got a jack, or you have a tow service with a phone number you can call. Make sure that you have all those things in place. Excuse me. Because, like I said, this cold weather, like I said, it'll leave you sitting on the side of the road with no help at all, and you got to flag somebody down. So make sure you make sure that you take care of some of the basic things. Today we've been talking about your garden and where to put your garden. Where do you have the best sunlight? Where is there shade? I think that if you have space, have some fruit trees or berry bushes, or blackberries or raspberries or strawberries, or have something that tastes good, something that you want, and always plant things that you like. And it's okay to try different things, but just make sure that you have enough of the things that you truly like in your garden, so this way you really enjoy it, because gardening is not that easy. I mean, it does require some work, physical activities. You are doing well when it comes to making sure that you have everything that you need. And for those people who are seniors, make sure that if you're going to have a garden, make sure there's something that you have something that you can roll right up into your wheelchair, or your walker, or your cane, whatever it is. Make sure there's something that's up high enough for you to garden in, because there's a lot of people out there that still would love to garden, but because they don't have the pieces that they need, like down at Batewood, where we have the senior garden, we have at least a couple of those boxes that are 29 to 36 inches tall, and we have one I think is 43 inches tall, where they can just walk right up to it and lean up against it and plant, harvest, work the soil, whatever they need to do. So make sure that you have something that's sitting up nice and high for you to get to, so this way you don't have to bend over. Basic gardening is for people who are young, who are vibrant, or people, say 50, 60 years old, who still have good balance. Those are the kind of people that are still digging in the ground, having their gardens. But for people who have problems, you want to make sure that you meet them where they're at. If they're, like I said, if they're in a wheelchair, have something 29 inches, at least 29 inches, so this way they can get in their garden. They can do all the things they want to, and they can roll right out and have themselves a great day. Because I know a lot of seniors who love flowers. You know, I'm a part of the Danville Garden Club, and there's a lot of seniors there who just love their flowers. And what they tell me is that if we can get more people to plant their vegetables ever how they want to, but add flowers, add color to their garden, that will keep bees coming in their yard, that will keep butterflies, beneficial insects coming in the yard. So this way their harvest would be a whole lot better, because there's nothing worse than having a garden just full of vegetables, and all you're dependent on is what flowers in your from your vegetables. But if you add flowers, even if you have a flower garden, add vegetables into that. But just make sure that you're adding the things that you need, so this way those beneficial insects can find your garden, and they can pollinate it and go back and do whatever they do as far as making honey. But you just have to try to make your life as easy as possible, because for people who don't have time, need to start now, putting that plan in place, so this way they can really enjoy their garden this year, because the hard part will be done now, in the first, say in the next month and a half, or say in the next 45 days. If you can get the hard part out the way now, on these warm days when it's 40, 50, 60 degrees and the sun is shining, and you can get out there and do some things, you have to be able to use that time in order to make life easier next month. So just those simple tips. And like I said, I guess the other one would be, if you're going to start a compost, now is a great time to start your compost. Some people, they just throw it right out in their garden. Say they dig a hole, put some compost down in it, your vegetables or leftovers, whatever it might be, they'll put that right in there, and then next time they'll come out and they'll dig another hole, put that stuff in, then next time dig another hole, and just constantly adding to your soil, because there's only a few things that a garden needs. Good soil, so this way when you stick that really good seed down in the ground, it will definitely come up. It's going to need sunshine, and it's going to need water. So you have to make sure that when you put this garden together, make sure you have some place for the water. Got a couple more minutes. So like I said, so if you're going to have a rain barrel, if you're going to have, because a rain barrel is great until probably July, August, and there's no rain, and then you don't have any water in your rain barrel. Now you have to drag a hose or whatever it is to water your garden. So I have to start thinking about some of those things. How will I water this garden? I would say plant everything as close to the house as far as a 25-foot garden hole will take you. That way, you can't miss. So if your rain barrel runs out, that garden hose at 25 foot should take care of that, and make sure that you're watering your plants the way you need to. And your plants will tell you, I haven't been watered, or I need water, because you come out and they all look sad. So make sure that you, figure out what days it's going to rain, because that can help you, because a good old rain is probably the best you can have. Water hose will help you get through the hard times, but a good old rain will definitely bring everything that it needs to your garden. Let's see here. What was I thinking about? Oh, okay. I guess the last thing would be, because I got about 2 minutes now. The last thing would be is when you start thinking about where your garden's going to be, go out and buy a soil tester. I bought one. I think it was for $13. Comes with a little 9-volt battery inside of it. You can stick that in the ground and it'll tell you whether you alkaline or whether you're regular. It'll tell you how much sun it gets, those kind of things. So that could also help you out early. So and if you leave it out there all day, it'll tell you how long the sun is there. You know, it'll say, well, you had 6 hours of sun, and then you're alkaline, so you may have to go get you some fertilizer or something. But a little soil tester could save you lots and lots of money. And those 2 apps that I gave you last week, Seed to Spoon and the Landscaper. Seed to Spoon will tell you how to plant your plants, and the Landscaper will tell you how much soil, how much rock, how many plants you can put in one area. It'll give you the roadmap that you need. Well, my time is up. If your needs have been met, share it with someone that'll come back to you tenfold. Have yourself a great, great day.
Welcome to Gardening with James. You will learn how to start your own garden, learn watering techniques, how and what to compost, eat better, which leads to a healthier lifestyle. This show is packed full of frugal tips and information, as well as interviews from around the country designed to make gardening easier and fun for the entire family. Call James now with your questions and problems at 734-4321. A gardener himself who has planted gardens from San Francisco to Kentucky. Let's go in the garden with your host, James Ross.